So one day after the season's over, I guess we'll just jump in and say, okay, where are you going to play next year? What's your thoughts about coming back? And
Well, there's two different questions there. One was where am I going to play, and your guess is as good as mine. And yeah, I like this organization. When they called me last year during the free agent period, they told me certain things that were going to happen, how they expected my year to go, how they expected to handle me, and they came through with everything they told me they were going to do. This organization does a wonderful job of developing people and players, and they stuck to that. And it was everything they said of me, and hopefully I gave them everything I asked of that they had asked of me. And I do really like playing for this organization.
Obviously, a very successful year on and off the ice for this group. Not the way that the team wanted the season to end, of course, but when you look back at this year, what would you, how would you characterize this year?
Right now, it's hard to look at the big picture because, again, we've played probably 3 of our worst games of the season. They happen all to be in the span of a week. So it's hard to look at it as a big picture right now, but trying to be more mature about it and kind of look past it. I think we're very pleased with the season as a whole. We played 80 games this year, and 76 of them we did a wonderful job of accumulating. I think it was 102 points. That's not something to sniff at. So I think looking back on the season, very happy with it, very content with it. Felt I grew as a person and as a player, and every year that's all I can really ask for. As long as I continue to improve and strive, I think then that's all I can really ask of myself.
As a group, what are you guys maybe most proud of accomplishing this year? And again, like you said, it was a great regular season. What are you guys most proud of?
I think what we're most proud of is how we were as a group. I think a lot of us made a lot of very good lasting relationships. I think a lot of guys felt comfortable. A lot of guys just had a good time. And I think that's something we can be most comfortable with, is just how we were working together as a cohesive group.
Yeah, we've heard so much about how tight this group was on and off the ice. How much more difficult does that make the way this season ended for you guys?
A lot more difficult. When you see guys that you like going to the rink with every day, and you like hanging out with them when you're on your off days, even though you're together 180 days, you'll still want to see each other on your off days. It's hard when you're forced to go your separate ways, so that just kind of added to it.
We talked about during the course of the season, your successful year in terms of career numbers, points production wise, and what contributed to that, and how what would you, when you look back at this, in terms of what went well for you?
I think it was an accumulation of things. I think from a personal perspective, I think my confidence grew as the season went on. I think there's a lot of things I improved on, just small things that I hadn't in the past. I think confidence, like I said, was one of them. And then the team was obviously a big aspect of it. When you have players on your team like we do, it's a lot easier to get points. And when you're put into offensive situations, a power play, getting extra offensive zone draws, being put out there with certain lines, you get put in that opportunity. And I think that was part of it. And then just the system we played. We were playing a very up-tempo system that's going to lead to a lot of goals and a lot of opportunities. And I think that was something that I flourished in.
We've seen, whether it's the NHL or the AHL, the playoffs, obviously a totally different animal. This is a really young team all year, and a lot of guys going through the playoffs at this level for the first time. How do you think going through an experience, even though it only ended up being 4 games, will help this group moving forward?
I think everything you do has to be a learning experience one way or another. You can't look at it as a failure. You just have to learn as another learning experience. And I think if guys can take from this something, each person's going to take something different, because everyone can look at the same thing and see completely different things. And I think for each person, they need to make sure they do some inner looking and look within themselves, see what went wrong from them, what they thought was wrong, and try to make sure they correct it moving forward.
It was your first season playing here in Syracuse, in the city, and obviously the fan base and everything. What was it like for you to play in this city, in this building, in front of these fans?
I loved it. Syracuse offers a lot for American Hockey League players. I think that's been well documented through the years. They've got a rich tradition. The rink is a wonderful rink, and I think a lot of it is because of the people that are in it. They bring a great atmosphere, a great environment. The team is very well run. Logistically, it's very smooth, which for someone who's been in the league as long as I have, that can be a hang-up sometimes, but this organization does a wonderful job of keeping things on track, keeping things going at an easy easy pace, and what ends up happening is you just get more comfortable within your routine, and it makes you worry about less things, and the less players have to worry about, the more they can focus on their job. And the proximity to Toronto is nice. Being able to see my family, friends and family, playing Toronto is nice because I get to see my friends and family. So there's a lot of things about Syracuse I really liked.
We talked about you having a very successful year. The way the year ended, though, how much fuel does that, as you head into this offseason, give to you as you look towards next year?
I think it just reminds me that there's a lot I still need to work on. You can be as confident as you want and as happy as you want with it, but there's still a lot I can improve on, and I think from this series it just shows me that I do need to continue to work.